Yesterday, Nvidia announced the RTX 3060, and I've covered it briefly on my channel before, but now that we have the official specs, it's worth finalizing my thoughts on this GPU. Unfortunately, looking at the specs, I have to say the RTX 3060 leaves me underwhelmed, mostly because it's on the GA106 node and really has no business to share the same name with a much better RTX 3060 Ti, which is a GA104 class GPU. But the thing is, if the RTX 3060 is the only available graphics card when it launches late February 2021, then it's not like gamers have much of a choice. For gamers, if the shortage of graphics cards continue, it's either the RTX 3060 or a step back down to a RTX 2070 or RTX 2060 if they're available for cheaper prices. Take a look at the performance, and this is from Nvidia's own presentation. In two of the titles, Total War 3 Kingdoms and The Division 2, it's barely any better than the RTX 2060. I found it a bit awkward that Nvidia wanted to compare it to the GTX 1060 in their presentation just to show a performance gap. In the other four titles, both ray tracing and DLSS is turned on, and we don't really know what the ray tracing settings are in these titles, but DLSS is needed to get past the 60 FPS level. In fact, I do wonder whether this card is useful going forward at standard rasterization in your average multi-platform gaming title. There is a clear difference between the 3060 Ti and the 3060. These are not the same GPU, even though they share 80% of their name. The 3060 Ti is simply in a different class, so if the retailer puts both of them out in front of you and offers the 3060 Ti at $450 and the 3060 at $350, the 3060 Ti is easily the better deal. The GPU inside the 3060 Ti is the GA104 chip, which is a cut down chip of the 3070. The 3060 is in a lower class. It's the GA106 chip with a lot less CUDA cores. Most of the performance difference comes from the CUDA core count. The 3060 has just 73% of the CUDA core count of the 3060 Ti, and this drives most of the rasterization performance. The 3060 has about 5% faster clock speed, but expected overall performance should be about 20 to 25% better on the 3060 Ti in gaming. As always, make sure to check graphics cards reviews or benchmarks before purchasing. The 3060 has an advantage with the amount of VRAM over the 3060 Ti, and VRAM is important because when you run out in games that demand high VRAM, generally performance suffers significantly as the game has to find other ways than VRAM to swap assets in and out. That said, the 3060 was left with an odd design decision. Design of the GPU being 192-bit memory bus meant it had a tough choice deciding between 6GB or 12GB of VRAM, so it went with the latter. I think 12GB is definitely the better choice by Nvidia, even though it might look odd next to higher class cards with less VRAM. So what does it all mean in layman's terms? Well, the 3060 Ti is a RTX 2080 super level card, whereas the RTX 3060 is going to be more like an RTX 2070 or an RTX 2060 Super. The 3060 will have better ray tracing and DLSS performance than those older cards, but if you can get one of those for cheap, that might be a better option. Or if you don't even care about ray tracing or DLSS, maybe pick up a second-hand GTX 1080 Ti, which will be better than the 3060. But you're probably not going to have much of a choice. Crypto mining, as I discussed in my previous video, is reaching record high prices, which means miners everywhere are buying cards from retailers, distributors, and call up anybody with one of the newer GPUs. As long as the crypto prices stay high, it's totally worth it for miners to continue to mine, and the 3060 Ti and the 3080 are basically the best performing cards right now, with the best return on investment. This is why there is some availability of the 3090 and 3070 around, but much harder to find the 3080 and 3060 Ti. As of now, the 3060 expected mining hash rate will be around 45 to 50 megahashes per second, which will still make the 3080 and 3060 Ti the better mining cards. That being said, miners will come looking for anything that can do the job, so the 3060 will likely be preyed upon too. So my advice is pretty simple: buy whatever is available at reasonable prices that make sense. If the 3060 is available and around $350 and there's simply nothing else, I think that's an okay deal as long as you're aware that this is a GPU that offers around a RTX 2060 Super to RTX 2070 level of performance. But if you can get a 3060 Ti for $450, I think that's the better deal. You'll get much better gaming performance, and while it only has 8GB of VRAM, it should be enough to see out this generation. Also, one final piece of advice, two fan cards are going to offer the best value and going to be closest to MSRP. And even though I haven't tested any of the cards, we can look at similar performing cards in the past with the same power draw. Two fan cards at 170 watts should offer decent enough performance to justify the lower price. With a 3 fan card, the prices are going to be higher because it has a more premium cooler, but it's better value to step up to the next class of card. In this case, get a 3060 Ti 2 fan card instead of a 3060 3 fan card if they are close enough in price. That's it for this one. Make sure to hit that like button and also to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.